And we're live.
I like that, George Bush. Don't play the game if you don't want to. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's what he said.
I wonder how
being once, not gonna flick it again.
I wonder how smart that guy was.
Went to Yale,
right? But did he earn his way into
going
Yale?
To Yale doesn't mean shit if you're a president's son. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he literally was.
He graduated.
It does.
Well, dude,
they don't just. They don't
Yale
just.
While his dad was president.
They don't just wave you in.
He was in the Skull and Bones Society. That guy was.
Every professor
that guy was
is like
in before he even got there. But on the other hand, like he couldn't have been a complete dummy. And okay, he's a president's son. Doesn't that imply some level of like genetic intelligence? Winner,
he's governor of Texas.
I don't think he's an actual dumb person. Like he's
right.
like it's just
there
a
are people
joke,
who think
but
that.
like he's not brilliant by any means. I don't think he's an exceptionally intelligent guy.
Who was our last brilliant president, though?
Obama. I think Obama and Clinton are both regarded as being pretty smart.
Oh, Clinton's in some hot water. Clinton coming out with a new book. And
what did Obama do that was smart? Like, what was his prerequisite?
Well, he
won the Nobel
was
Peace
a nobody
Prize,
when he got into his Ivy League school, so that's kind of a thing.
Where do you go?
Yeah.
Which Ivy League did he go to?
No,
I think his wife went
to Harvard Law, didn't he?
Harvard.
Or no, University of Chicago or one of those.
And then for law school, he went to an Ivy.
It's a good school. He's a smart guy. I guess I'm just thinking of brilliant differently. Like I'm trying to think of any president we've had like an actual genius. You know.
He did go to Harvard Law. You're right.
Like an Einstein level, but I guess the Einstein level people don't get involved in politics. They're doing something else. Who do you think our dumbest president was ever?
I think the smartest president in my like actively watching politics was probably Bill Clinton. Like he was a Rhodes Scholar. He's pretty legit.
Yeah, he's a dumb guy for sure.
And Obama might be second, and then on the Republican side, it's like Reagan, Bush, Trump, another Bush. Maybe HW is the smartest recent Republican.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to gauge. They're all in so many different situations. It's difficult to compare. And it's not like they have a standardized presidential test. That'd be hilarious. I wish we had access to something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think we probably overblow the intelligence of the really old presidents, you know, because we kind of read everything we kind of want to read into it. It's like, this founding father said this because he meant this, a brilliant orator of his time. And it's like, who's to say? We don't really know.
Right.
Did you ever see the old SNL, like Ronald Reagan bits that they would do where that the joke was that he was only pretending to be a dummy? It was like a cover. Oh,
that was like a joke after his dementia started to set in, wasn't it? Like in the last year or so.
That is a real thing. I do believe that he had dementia because what happened was like he had Alzheimer's that everyone agreed on that was a real problem. Like 3 months after he stopped being president, like all of a sudden he had a fairly severe set of. It's like, oh right, it just started. Are you guys ready to watch this?
Probably there for the full last.
Oh, but wait, the audio sucks. We keep putting it in these videos. Audio's gonna suck.
Well, for those of you who want to see it, it's called President Reagan Mastermind SNL.
I'm going to take so much heat for this video audio being bad for the second week. I don't know. I thought I had it fixed before the show. I tested it. Fuck, it sucks. But, yeah.
Well, Clinton's in a lot of trouble, it seems.
What did he do?
Well, he gave an interview. He's putting out a new book. And I believe he was asked something about the Me Too thing and how it pertained to Monica Lewinsky.
As to how he would do in this Me Too era.
Yeah. And apparently he came off very badly. And then he got a lot of backlash. And then he went on the Colbert. What's Colbert? The Tonight Show? It's late night with Colbert. Whatever
Colbert show.
Stephen Colbert's late night show is. I can't remember which one it is because I don't watch that shit. But he's like, can you understand why many people thought your response was tone deaf in this Me Too generation, and just really was holding Clinton to the flames, and he was like, well, you know, it was the things I did 20 years ago, you know, I'm very regretful, and I've apologized, and I've had to live with what I did. And he was just trying to explain everything, and it was just like, shit, I'm just trying to sell some fucking books here. I didn't know you guys are gonna nail me to a wall.
Might be working. The first interview where he got in trouble, I don't know that he said anything so wrong, like you would quote it and read it terribly, but he came on like the counteroffensive. He's like, you are being biased. You are asking questions that he didn't have. I guess he got, my interpretation of it is, he has spent so much time apologizing for the same indiscretion that he's run out of apologies. You know,
look, I understand that. I get it. I don't mean that I relate to it necessarily, but I can empathize with it. It's like, Jesus Christ. First of all, he didn't do anything bad. The worst thing he did was lie about it.
And cheat on his wife.
I don't care about that.
I do.
I'd cheat on her too. Look at that fucking nasty old. I don't think she's into dudes anyway. I think that the buffet was closed for Mr. Clinton, and he had to get something ordered in.
One way to open the buffet is to be a nice, loving husband.
I don't think she's into dudes. I think that he married a lady who doesn't like men. I think that's the situation there. And I don't. And you know, he'd been fucking chicks improprieties his whole life, like going back to when he was a governor in Arkansas or whatever. You know, there was multiple women that kept coming out that said he'd push them up against the bookcase and grab their titties and kiss them and stuff like that. He didn't do that to Monica Lewinsky. When Linda Tripp or whoever it was ratted her out, Monica was pissed. She's like, "You've ratted me out? What the fuck? I confided in you that I was blowing the leader of the free world. This was between us. I had to tell somebody." And she's like, "You didn't tell him about the dress, did you?" "You told him about the dress." Jesus Christ, that was a little quirky anecdote I told you. I thought it'd be like an episode of Seinfeld. The president jizzed on my dress. I gotta get this thing to the dry cleaners. What do you mean that's destroying evidence in a federal case? Oh no! What have you done to me? Like, the whole thing was bullshit. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't even fuck her. He didn't even fuck her.
I don't know if I buy that.
She says he didn't fuck her. He says he didn't fuck her. He pleasured her with a few of those lovely Cubano cigars that he had in his office there.
Well, she had to say that, or she wouldn't have been taken on a nice little helicopter ride. You know what I'm saying?
You ever see an intern blow a smoke ring with her pussy? It's a beautiful thing.
You ever see an intern soak the tip of the last one of Kennedy's Cubans? I bet you haven't. Of course, I was the president. I can get as many as I want whenever I want.
I got no problem with it. Like, I'm not a big fan of Clinton or anything, but like, I didn't think he did anything wrong. I didn't care. I still don't care. They should lay off him on that shit. He didn't. Now, the women that he supposedly assaulted, that's what they should be focused on. People might not like to talk about it because the most recent person to like bring it into the limelight was Donald Trump. You know, when he's like bringing all the accusers to the debates and shit, that was gold. Remember that? That was hilarious. He's like, I'm gonna bring all of the women who have accused this man of sexual assault to the debate with his wife. That's gamesmanship. That's fucking dirty, low down gamesmanship. It's hilarious. And like anybody who's just who doesn't even care about taxes or the economy or foreign policy, they're like, holy shit, this is Jerry Springer on the world's largest stage. Let's go. What's going to happen? It was wonderful. That was hilarious. But yeah, I don't care that he cheated on his wife. I don't like it if he's sexually assaulting ladies or using his position of power to coerce them into something that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I care about both of those things. It says something about the moral character. And the president is a moral leader in some ways too. You know, like, heck, I'll say this. With Trump saying, you know, there's bad guys on both sides and such, I feel like he's made racism more okay in a little bit. There was a national conversation about whether a blowjob was cheating because Clinton said it wasn't. Well, if you guys don't remember that.
No, he said it wasn't sex.
Yeah.
I want to say he said we can't have sex because that would be cheating. you know, but a blowjob, you know, kiss on the cheek, blowjob, like you do this with other people.
Yeah, the argument was that
birds of a feather.
That a blowjob wasn't sex.
But the quote was, he would only do a blowjob because elsewise it would be cheating. That's what he told Monica Lewinsky.
Maybe that was the rules he had with Hillary.
But I remember on the news and such, because I was a young adult at the time. I was like 20 something. And it was like, is a blowjob cheating? And everyone is like, gosh, I mean, I always thought it was, but I guess we need to re-examine this.
And upon re-examination, yes, putting someone's penis in your mouth is cheating.
Yeah. But you know, and I felt like Clinton did something to lower the country's morality, you know, when he did that.
That Kennedy never did.
Well,
Kennedy
didn't say that.
Kennedy banging starlets and lying to the American public, basically starting the Cuban Missile Crisis and then inflaming it and then lying about how he solved it.
And Ted Kennedy absolutely didn't let a woman die in the trunk of his car and forget about it conveniently for a couple days.
Is the trunk part true?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is this the Chippequick thing? Am I mixing it up? Because I
thought she was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
You're right. She was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Chappaqua.
Right. It's a tough one. That sounds pretty good.
Drowned a woman in my car.
Yeah. If I remember right, he was drunk driving. He drove off a bridge, maybe into a lake for sure. And he was able to get himself free. And he sort of just let that situation settle for a bit. So now, you know, like the alcohol's out of his system. Yeah. And now he's not drunk anymore. Now like that. Look, that was 2 days ago. Who's to say? And don't
forget about John Kennedy's dad working with the mob as well as lobotomizing one of his children.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't judge lobotomies as harsh because they thought that it was helping. They had no idea the actual impact of it. Like
that's like looking forward from 50 years
where you're a danger to yourself and everyone around you, and you might swallow your tongue and die. And like,
I believe she was masturbating.
Oh, really?
That's just hot. No, I think it was more. But it's like 50 years from now, they might look back and be like, he put his children on Adderall. You know, well, that at the time,
they put their kid on hormone treatment when he was 7. Yeah, here he is parading around a rally. Everybody was cheering.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget how we were on the Me Too era. Yeah, he just was. Yeah. It was like he ran out of apologies and started going on the offensive, and the whole world saw it and said, "Nope, you need to be apologetic on this until the day you die. You need to be sorry. You need to, you know, don't go clapping back at people asking you. It's just you'll never get past it."
Yeah, she had special needs, and she was, I guess, kept as a family secret, and then lobotomized her, which made her uber retarded, basically, because then she like had limited motor skills and could barely speak.
That sucks.
Now let's look up the lobotomized Kennedy.
Yeah. Howard Stern has a hilarious bit about Rosemary Kennedy being lobotomized. If you ever want to hear it, he does a nice impression of Daddy Kennedy, and he's like, she was masturbating at the table, and so we drilled a hole in her head." It's just, it goes on for 30 minutes of him doing a Kennedy impression and talking about lobotomizing his daughter for masturbating at the dinner table or something like that. It's when Stern was a very mean man.
Is it Stern doing the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He does a very good Kennedy impression.
I thought for sure... I wonder if people were feeding him lines the whole time.
Perhaps. But he's flowing with it. So he does when he does flow with stuff, he can just be really nasty. And maybe they fill in every third joke or something like that. So who knows?